Welcome back to another week of Midwest Whitetail. We just unloaded a whole bunch of rednecks. Exciting to get those in, just makes you think about hunting season even more. This week is actually our summer meeting with our pro staff from all around the country, and a lot of our partners come out and go over the new products and what's available. And it's gonna be really exciting with a lot of new stuff that's gonna be shown throughout the end of this episode. But first, we're gonna dive into the new farm that Zach alluded to in last week's show. It's called the Goat Hills. He's really excited about it, has a ton of work for you planned out there. It's basically a blank slate. And Zach has worked really hard on permission farms over the years, and it's kind of led to this point where he's acquired this farm. It's a really cool story. I know Zach's really passionate about it, and I'm excited to see it as well.
They got all these internal pouches where you can kind of separate everything. Good on SD cards. Sure we'll forget something. Man, it feels good out here today. Oh boy, mulberries are getting close, boys. Got a few of them over there. I can see the beans. Looking good. Some clover germination. All right, here we are at the Goat Hills. I know I've been teasing this one for a little while now. This is a new permission farm for me this year, and I think it actually has a really unique story, you know, how this all kind of came to be. So 2.5 years ago, my wife and I, we were really actively purchasing a farm. And during that time, I was cold calling individuals, knocking on doors, you know, no different than, you know, when it comes down to acquiring permission, you just got to put in the work. And through that process, I actually developed a relationship with the landowner on this property. You know, at the beginning of it, I was interested in purchasing it. The dialogue went really well, but the thing that kind of changed is that during that process, we ended up acquiring Area 52. So things kind of naturally separated themselves. And actually it kind of resurfaced in the last several months where they had actually reached out to me regarding a partnership, you know, regarding this, you know, type of thing too, where it allows me permission and also do some land management on this property where we can kind of be better land stewards to this property itself. This property has a lot of unique features, with one of them being the timber habitat that's here. It's some of the best that I've encountered on properties that I've had access to, but also there's some really natural pinches that stick out right away. So when you look at this type of spot on Onyx Hunt, it really sticks out right away that this is a natural pinch point. And it made sense for this to actually be a food plot location for perpetuity, in all honesty. So it's clover right now. It might not be clover in the future, but you know, I think that one of the things we've talked about quite a bit is that Mike always refers to the pinch on the river farm. And this is a different type of pinch. You know, he's had some great encounters, had great success in that location, but this is just a different type of pinch. Essentially what this is a saddle, like really when it comes down to it. You have a ridge off to my left and then a ridge off to the right that really converge where this is the path of least resistance in order for the deer to access this area. But the thing that's different is that this saddle is actually tillable acres. So we're gonna make the transition into some of this with being native grasses and then also a food plot, but it's still a really unique location where it's gonna ideally set up for a shorter bow shot if I can have a tree stand setting up right over there on that side of this pinch. I can honestly say that I haven't been as excited about a piece of property as I am about the Goat Hills. You know, this is a situation where this is very much ground zero. The anticipation just continues to climb, and I think that getting the cameras out today is hopefully going to set the stage, you know, for what's to come on this property down here. And then also, I wanna kind of show you why I call it the Goat Hills. There's some areas of this farm where it really drops off into an area where it kind of transitions into lowland timber along the river, you know, too. So it's a really cool location that's just really unique topography wise. So be along for the journey and hopefully continued trips out here to the Goat Hills. Right here is gonna be where the rubbing post is gonna be on this location. Maybe a branch on both sides. About 37 and a half.
37 and a half?
37 and a half.
I've already 41.
Yep, she ain't going anywhere. Well, that tree that's creaking over there is the one that I was going to put my tree stand in, so that's...
Along with that, Zach, some of these spots clover pack, like the yellow spots. What were you telling me about that?
Yeah, so a couple weeks ago I came out here, so I had frost seeded this spring, and you know, I had a really good germination rate, but one of the things I was a little concerned about, and this kind of plays into why we're transitioning some of this into CRP too, is that this property has been farmed really hard for a number of years, and I'm not sure how much nutrients they were putting back in the soil when they were doing that, so I'm pretty confident that it's going to be a P and K deficiency on this actual area right here, because typically clover will do really well in all soil types, but you know, if it's already yellowing in some of the locations where it seems to be spotty, seems like it's coming out of it, some of that can be drought related, but I would imagine there's probably some P and K deficiency on a lot of this clover area. Bring the tree stand up, there we go. So this is actually kind of a cool spot right behind me. There's a pin oak right here where I'm always looking for pin oaks because they have a lot of branches, but this is also a really cool observation set, potentially early season, because if you have green beans right in front of you, right here on this edge, it could be a really cool spot. That rain's definitely helping down here. There's actually a lot of ragweed down here that's coming up, which a lot of people try to eliminate that out of their plots, but for the protein content that it has, it's actually something that you can actually leave in the plot, and it's really good for all forms of wildlife. You can already tell with the canopy being open up as much as it is, with that sunlight hitting the floor, there's been an influx of greenery right here on the forest floor, which is really cool to see, because that's really going to help the bedding in this location. Like off here, we got a lot of sunlight hitting the ground, influx of greenery, but then right over here, it drops off where you can see how thick it is. I mean, this is just gonna be phenomenal bedding where maybe I'm not coming in here to hunt, because if I have that food plot right on the edge where I don't have to access this specific spot, but I can have them right here and be very short location about transitioning into larger ag fields. So this is another really cool spot on this farm, that it's a really narrow pinch that it comes down again, you know, on this location, where I was just telling Rye that any deer that really comes out in this location, they're gonna be within 40 yards. So it just kind of naturally sets up to be, you know, a food plot, you know, for the long term, but it's also right off a bedding area. So this is actually a really unique project that I worked on this fall actually, but this is actually a walnut grove is what this is gonna be right behind us. There's gonna be a lot of walnuts, where this is a really kind of unique blend of how this can help the landowner for kind of be a standing savings account that's sitting here with when we release some of those trees. So for in the future, they have some monetary value that's standing there, but then also we're letting that sunlight hit the ground and hopefully enhance the bedding at the same time. So kind of a dual purpose project on this farm.
This is why they call it the Goat Hills.
Yeah, this is why we call it the Goat Hills here. I think sometimes it's kind of deceptive to show how much topography change we have in this location, but we kind of came through another oak ridge is where we came through here, and then it really drops off really steep here. And it actually kind of transitions down into like a river bottom type environment, a lot of lowland timber, but we're kind of up on the flats, and it's really cool to see white oaks the sizes of what they are is what we just drove through. So this is a really cool location where I'm sure that I'm going to log some hunts right back here on this trail. I like this spot too, because I think this is a spot on the farm where I never envisioned hunting in this area. So I think it'll be a good location for maybe being a mineral site for a long time. Ooh, you can smell it right away. All right, I think that's going to wrap things up here at the Goat Hills. And although this was a short trip today, I think it was an eventful one. You know, I wanted to introduce this property to everyone because it's something that I'm really excited about. You know, I feel like this is just the tip of the iceberg, kind of talking about the anticipation, the excitement that's kind of building on this. Getting cameras out is just going to continue that storyline. I got a laundry list of projects I want to get done down here, and you know, it really just feels like it's a blank slate when it comes down to it. You don't find very many farms that just haven't had a ton of management for wildlife done on them in the past like this one is. It truly is a blank slate, and I feel like we're going to have continued projects that we're going to continue to show everyone down here. I got some plans for some native seeding that we're going to be doing, some timber stand improvement for sure. A lot of those are going to be off-season driven, but also it's going to come right into hunting season this upcoming year. So really looking forward to bringing that to everybody. But also this coming weekend, we're going to have our summer meeting for Midwest Whitetail, and I'm really looking forward to that. We all have busy schedules this time of the year especially, so it's always good to get everyone together. So I'm really looking forward to this weekend. And as always, we appreciate you guys joining us this week on the show, and we look forward to having you guys back next week.
So with that being said, let me just say welcome. We appreciate you guys being here.
We are 5 states. This is the side of it's Midwest Lifestyle Properties. We're in the top 3 of the United Country every year.
So you got a full waist belt, obviously full backpack straps, and one cool feature of Mission Ranch, and especially in their frame packs, but even in this pack right here, area right here, I can break Velcro behind here, and I can slide these backpack straps up and down.
So the Trax camera is a standalone cell camera. Just like everybody else's, we plan for $5, $8, and $13 a month. So it's affordable.
Acre meter and lock this out so that not all these pieces in here are turning. You've got a 4-cylinder Fiat engine in it.
I have this one. It's nice because it has like all the on now.
Mark Robinson. Where you at, Mark? There he is. Grab you a target, my man.
What should I go with?
What'd you win?
Which one should I go with?
Grab you a target.
Which one you go with?
Classic.
Nothing wrong with classic. Did you win?
Did you win it or Daddy? Talk to the camera. You did. Well, here, you carry it then.
Nice job, bud. Yes, sir.
You're on Albion. Where are you again?
Indianola.
Indianola. Thank you.
Yep.
Yeah. You got good deer hunting country down there.
Oh yeah, yeah, we do.
It's just gonna try to get in here next week.
Yeah. It's Roundup ready.
got his own bell.
Thank you. Ding, ding, ding. We have a winner.
What else is
Nice job, Owen. Yeah.
Well, we're just wrapping up a really fun weekend here. This is our annual Midwest Whitetail team meeting where our team members get to come and join us for some fellowship. Had a lot of our partners show up and, you know, as you saw, just had a ton of fun. And this has been a pretty diverse episode from start to finish. You know, Zach Rozmus, man, Area 52 last week, the Goat Hills this week. And, you know, as you saw, I really think that he's going to be in the chips come this fall. You know, there's one thing about Zach, he's going to get on a big deer. He's going to figure it out, whether it's a new piece, old piece. And with the cameras deployed, I'm really looking forward to seeing what bucks show up for him. But on that note, some interesting faces have been showing up from Mr. Lee Abraham and not to mention Mike Reed. So hopefully in these next couple of episodes, we can start to introduce some of these bucks that have been showing up. And before we know it, summer's going to be over. Gavin's been spending a lot of time prepping Chasing November Season 8 for you guys. So overall, as always, we appreciate you guys tuning in. Can't wait to see you back for the next episode of Midwest Whitetail. Have a great rest of your week.